Okay. So now I'll go back into the slideshow. Okay. So we'll start real quick with a brief introduction on Enovation and who we are for those of you on the call that may not know us. We're a global e-learning company. We're also an Irish e-learning company with our headquarters based in Dublin. And sorry, folks, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn off my camera just purely because of bandwidth, and I'll turn it on a little bit later in the presentation again. Okay, so an Irish-based company based in Dublin, and while we were founded in 2000 with an initial focus on the provision of software solutions and project management capability to the financial services sector, we diversified, and it wasn't until 2004 that we made our first leap into e-learning and open source technology, and subsequently this business is built into one of the largest open source learning technology companies in the market. We also have offices in France and Poland, and more recently office in the US earlier this year, which was fantastic news for the company to support and having boots on the ground to support our clients in the US. We're an official Moodle partner both in Ireland and France, and being a premium Moodle partner enables us now to offer Moodle Workplace, which I'll explain a little bit about that later on. I suppose our technical expertise together with our innovative learning, performance and talent management solutions has brought us great success across Ireland and indeed France and further afield. And in addition to being a Moodle partner, we're also a Totara Platinum partner and offer an enterprise learning management system solution to larger corporates and that. And earlier this year, we're very proud of the fact that we achieved ISO 27001. Obviously, when you go online, you're getting people's personal data, and that data needs to be protected from a data protection perspective, but also the technology stack that you're putting things on needs to be secure. And ISO 27001 is the highest standard for data protection and technology security, and it was a very hard sought accreditation for the company and indeed all the employees of the company. But Enovation is committed to protecting your data. As you can see here, we've got quite a diverse range of clients. Some international clients there from Microsoft, Nokia, Boston Scientific, Johnson & Johnson, and more indigenous organizations such as Trinity College, Smith's Toys, An Garda Síochána, and the ESB. So our solutions, well, Moodle, I suppose, Moodle is the most successful open source product on the planet. It has over 100 million registered users worldwide, and it is the most widely used learning platform today. Moodle Workplace was released earlier this year, and it's Moodle for business, essentially. And that it helps organizations empower their teams with personalized and collaborative learning experience. And of course, built on core Moodle code, it includes specific modules to meet more complex workplace needs and integrates smoothly with HR and other systems across the organization. And like Moodle Workplace, Totara was also built on top of Moodle, and it offers those enterprise level tools for the larger corporates around performance management, learning management, performance appraisals, and all that good stuff. Aura Talent is something that was developed at Enovation. after identifying a gap in the market with performance and competency management. So after 3 years of research into human capital management with industry leaders, we developed an innovative approach to strategic talent management, succession planning, and career mapping. So these are the list of services that we provide. Obviously, we support our clients and new clients in selecting the best solution to meet their current needs, but also their future needs. So having kind of that long-term vision of where they'd like to be when they begin their e-learning journey. And of course, we provide training on all of our solutions. And then with development, customizations, you know, most organizations will want flexibility in choosing what features they want to customize, as well as being able to define how they would like their learning management system to look and operate to meet those organizational objectives. So we have a large, extensive development team that complete customizations on our platforms and indeed integrations with other HR systems. Also, we provide very flexible hosting models that can scale as your business grows. We offer dedicated or shared hosting and large infrastructure hosting on AWS, etc. We also have a content development team that works with clients from an instructional design perspective, storyboarding right through to the content development and launch. And we also have flexible and transparent support models also. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the overview on what we'll cover on this webinar. We're going to take a look at Moodle course format examples. And this will really be, I suppose, the focal point of the agenda here, if you like. And we'll go through and I'll discuss them and each of the features and that. Because while Moodle Core has a number of course format options, including grid format, collapsed topics, tabs, one topic, etc. And additionally, there are many, many more available from the Moodle community. At Enovation, I suppose, our primary goal here is to support our clients in reducing the impact of the interface on the cognitive load of learners. And I will demonstrate some of our examples that we have created for our clients. Then we'll take a look at, chunking content and what that refers to, and the strategy that it is of breaking down information into bite-sized pieces, so that our brains can more easily digest this new information. And the reason, the brain needs support is because of our working memory, which is where we, manipulate the information, and it holds a limited amount of information at one time. So I'll demonstrate how we can look at chunking content and how Moodle can facilitate this using the different activities to support learning. And then we're going to go and I'll demonstrate, when it comes to content creation for, Moodle, for courses in Moodle, it's not just about sharing content. Instead, it's about creating a flow or a linear path, which, can allow learners to learn according to a predefined sequence, which I'll demonstrate how you can create both static and dynamic learning paths using the activity restriction feature. And then, the use, and I'll demonstrate this in the Moodle course format examples of how you can easily use iconography and stealth or orphaned activities to reduce the clutter on the course page. And along with that, then we'll be discussing the topic formats. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into Moodle format examples. I'm just going to take a sip of water here first. So what I'm showing here are two particular formats that we've developed for our clients. The first one here on the left is just collapsible topic formats. And what we did here was we just simply matched the colors, the green there and the red, with the branding for the client. So again, you're constantly, focusing on the brand as well, and bringing that into as many activities, on the site as possible. So again, the learners are getting that personalized experience. And what we did here was we just added a label to the topic, and made, again, from a learner perspective, they can see that this, contains a video. The video is approximately 2 minutes long, and then they click on the little button there, or label, making deposits, and it launches the course. And so again, there's consistency throughout the formatting here. And over here on the right, I have to say, is one of my favorites, and I've actually got the site open here to discuss it with you. But you can see here, before I do that, actually, if you observe that these are Moodle topics, and within each topic there are labels, and we created these buttons for the learner to progress through the course with little distraction or effort on their part. And again, using activity completion and restriction, they'll only get access to number 2 here when they've successfully completed number 1. And likewise, for the view content and post knowledge check will remain grayed out until the user completes the pre-knowledge check. Then and only then will they get access to the content. In this case, it happens to be SCORM. And only when the completion status of completed is sent back to the learning management system will they gain access to the post-knowledge check quiz. So all this looks clean and crisp. I hope you'll agree. From an administrator point of view, if we log in here, you can see all the hidden activities. And I'll just discuss this with you. So, we have this nice tab format here. Reading materials go here, if there was any reading materials. But additionally, what we've done here is we've just duplicated what's here, down here in this second label, which isn't visible to the learner. But when this topic is complete, this is hidden up here, and this one is then put in its place. And so it's like a little green check mark to say that they've completed this topic. So again, it's just a nice visual indicator for the learner to know that, okay, I've done this, now where do I go from here? And again, you can see all these activities here are hidden. So again, the learner doesn't see any of this. They're not even aware of all of this. All they see is, which I'll show you in a moment. So if I use the Moodle login as, or switch role to, student. You can see this is all the learner sees. They don't see all those hidden restrictions or activities. And just something else as well. For the certificate of completion, there is an activity restriction here that they will not get their certificate of completion until they've completed the course feedback or survey. And that's just something to bear in mind as well, because as we all know, as I suppose learning professionals, or L&D or learning technologists, getting feedback is really important to the overall success of a program or a course that you're rolling out, because that feedback can allow you to make changes if required to the content, or indeed the course structure, to make improvements. So, usually if you leave the course feedback as optional, some people will complete it, others won't. But if you make it mandatory and based on getting your certificate, everyone will complete it. So another example here, just to point out, it says tabs here. So if a particular organization has a lot of content that they want to have in one central location, this is a great way to present it. Again, using this tabbed format, and then you have the the course name over here, and then you click off onto the view course details, and then launch the course. Also have that example here. So again, nice tab format, nice and clean, clutter-free, and easy access to the learning resources. The next one actually is really, this is one of my favorites, and this is where using the iconography that I'd mentioned at the beginning, and it is just so simple to do and achieve. In this example, there's 4 activities. One is some pre-work that the learners must do before they can sign up or sign on to attend a live webinar. And then once they successfully complete this live webinar, then and only then will the assessment be unlocked and be made available to them. And then once that is successfully done, they get access to the certificate. And again, I'm supposed to show you that in context. Here it is here. You can see as I hover the mouse over, there's links to do it. So do some pre-work. And that includes watching a video and completing this score module. Okay. Now if I come back here and turn editing on, let's take a look what that course looks like. If you weren't using iconography, you'd have all these activities down here being displayed, and again you'd have this long, lengthy scroll on the course homepage, as opposed to hiding all of this as orphaned activities and behind the icons. And then the next one is, again, it's a very simplistic. We call this a simple SCORM. So if you've just got a single SCORM file, or any other activity, it shows the learner here. It shows the learner the progress. Activities complete is one of 3, where they've already launched the module. And then once the completion status comes back as complete, the assessment becomes unlocked. You can see that it turns into a navy color. And once the successful completion of the assessment is done, only then will they get their certificate of completion. And again, this is just very similar to the 4 icons that I previously showed. But this one here, using these chevrons here, it's shown in like almost in a process style. And again, they must watch the video before their policy document is made available to them. And then before they can collect their certificate, they have to click and confirm their understanding of this particular policy. And then, of course, from a course management perspective or administrator perspective, you can then generate reports on people or individuals who have either clicked and confirmed their understanding or who hasn't. Okay, chunking content. Within Moodle, again, Moodle is, very, very flexible, and it allows you, and very versatile, and allows you to, break a course up into multiple modules and indeed lessons. And each lesson then can contain their own units, essentially. So, by chunking the learning content, it breaks down the complicated information into smaller, memorable chunks. And I suppose this also loans itself to the, very emerging strategy of micro learning. And Moodle, easily allows you to take your content and create micro learning experiences for your learners. So if you think of your source content as one big block, and then when you chunk it down and refine it, each one of these blocks here can be a different activity for you to use to support the learning, and then for the end user to consume the learning. And chunking, content creates a positive learning experience, allowing the learner to interact and engage with the content in a variety of different ways. Because at the heart of Moodle is courses that contain activities and resources. There are approximately 20 different types of activities available, from forums, glossaries, wikis, and all of that. And we'll take a look at those shortly, or now. And this is a slide that I like to utilize to, break Moodle down into 4 key components, or key pillars of how it can be used as a learning management system, from a content perspective, a collaboration and social learning, communication, and evaluation. And you can see here from a content perspective, there is a lot you can do with Moodle. And of course, Moodle is content agnostic, so it can host and serve any form of content. So if anything from SCORM files, creating web pages, folders, labels, which I've touched on briefly already, and databases. From a communication standpoint, again, forums, chat, and synchronous chat, even glossary, wikis are great for get group work and getting people collaborating together. And then from a collaboration and learning, there's a few here that I'll just briefly discuss, because I'm a huge fan of the Moodle lesson. That allows you to present your learners with a series of HTML pages of either lesson content or questions, which can be graded or not graded. A Moodle lesson page generally requires learners to make some sort of choice once they have read the content or answered the question, and then that choice determines which page or which path they are shown next in the sequence. And it allows you to create very simplistic sequences or very complex structures, depending on your requirements. What's not here, actually, I need to update this slide, is the Moodle book, which is a multi-page resource that is formatted like a book or a flip book or an ebook, and contains main chapters and sub-chapters. The Moodle book allows for embedding multimedia from images and videos, so you can really make it very, very interactive. And indeed, then the wiki and the glossary and the database activities can be really used to promote and heighten collaboration amongst the learners. And of course, then there is lots of evaluation tools that can be used. And more recently, then, and this is H5P is a real game changer in the learning industry. Now, from Moodle 3.9 onwards, H5P comes fully integrated with Moodle, and this really allows you to create highly interactive and engaging, learning resources right from inside of Moodle. No third-party e-learning authoring systems or tools such as Articulate, Storyline, or Captivate required. And it's a free and open source collaboration framework that makes it easy to create and reuse HTML5 friendly content. Okay, learning paths. You know, the main power of, you know, Moodle's activity-based model comes in combining the activities into sequences and groups, which allow you to guide your learners or participants through learning paths, you know, and thus each activity can build on the outcomes of previous ones, just simply by using the basic tools of adding restrictions around your content and using the activity completion. If I just move on here, you can take, you know, this is a very simplistic learning path where, you know, you have a course welcome video, and this must be viewed before the score module becomes available to the learner. And then once the score module has been completed or viewed, the assessment activity or the Moodle quiz becomes available. And if the learner achieves 90% or more, they get their certificate of completion. Now, as I said, this is a very simplistic learning path. But what happens if they fail, or if they really want that course feedback survey completed that I'd mentioned earlier? Again, you can, you know, increase your learning path to include, but definitely not limited to, you know, well, if the learner fails the assessment, so they achieve less than 90%, what do you want to happen? In this case, I'd like to offer the learner some remedial supports. And this could be links to, you know, different Moodle activities, external resources, videos, etc. And after the completion, and again, I should just point out as well that other learners on the course will not see these remedial supports. They will remain hidden if they achieved the 90% pass and they've moved on and got their certificate. So upon completion of the remedial supports, the learner gets a second chance at the assessment, and if they pass that, they get moved on to the course feedback, complete that, they get their certificate of completion. But again, you can make that as complex or as simple as is required to meet your needs. Okay, I think we're bang up on time at just shortly at 10:31. Before, I'm not going to thank anyone yet. I'm just going to go back in. I think there might be some questions. Okay, any questions? Okay, yeah, first one here, Adele. How do you create the custom label? Is it created with HTML code? Some of them, Adele, yes, are created with very basic HTML code injected into the label. But some of them, like the four circular ones, the simple one that I pointed out, there's no HTML in that. It's just using the WYSIWYG editor in Moodle to upload those circular icons, and then, you know, formatting as you wish. Then is there a plugin you can use to add tabbed pages for Moodle content? That tab pages one is actually a plugin that we developed ourselves at Enovation. So yeah, it was developed really out of clients, various clients requesting it. What is my experience of using the Moodle app in an educational context? Generally, my experience is very positive of the Moodle mobile app. I've used it both in a professional and personal context while doing some college courses in that. With universities that use Moodle, and overall my experience has been extremely positive and in particular, especially because of where I live in rural Ireland, it allows me, you know, to download the content offline to my mobile device, where I can consume from home then, where my broadband, you know, at times can be, you know, hit and miss. Lorraine, good morning. What H5P element can you use as an alternative to articulate rise and storyline? Lorraine, you can use any of them, really. And I'd suggest to anyone on the call here to go to www.h5p.org. And I'll just open it up here. And take a look at the examples and downloads here. And all of these activities are available now inside of Moodle. And it's really down to your own creativity. I mean, I love this one. I love them all, really. I'm a huge fan of it. But this interactive video here, to do this in SCORM takes skill and, you know, expertise to overlay a video with interactivities. But it's so simple to do inside of Moodle. I'll just demonstrate this. You can see here on the timeline, there's different activities here highlighted by the circles. I'm just going to press play briefly. So then I click on the ingredients list. Multiple choice questions here. And again, select the right answers and then continue. So what I would suggest to anyone here is to go and explore all these great examples and downloads, and it'll give you some ideas for yourselves of how you can, you know, take this back to your Moodle and, you know, revisit some of your existing courses or materials, and, you know, how you could then use that use these activities or tools here to create, you know, interactive and engaging content. So I'm just looking for the questions. Oh, here we go. No problem at all, Lorraine. Thank you, and thank you for attending. Okay, if there are no further questions, I would like to take the opportunity now to say thank you. And thank you for attending the webinar. And I wish you all a great day ahead and indeed a weekend. And if any of you would like to contact me offline, there are my contact details on the screen. I'll just make sure chat. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.